Good morning, Houston again. This is your friend Jorge Briones in your show, What in the Health? And today we are again with visitors in the cabin. Today we have the privilege to be talking about a good company that is in Houston market for years now. And happens to be that now the rep is one of, I want to say, an amazing person to be dealing with, okay? With that being said, good morning, Mariangel. How are you?
Good morning, Jorge. I'm doing really good. Thank you so much for allowing me to come here and talk to you and our friends about Amerigroup.
There you go. So before we start, again, want to say thank you to everybody that make possible that we came across to every single one of our members, especially our partners like Amerigroup, let's say Wellcare, let's say United Healthcare, every single one that make sure that we are capable to get in front of you guys. I want to say thank you to our brokers, thank you to everybody that help us come in every day once again to our members. So with that being said, let's start. So Mariangel, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit, who is Mariangel Martinez?
Good. Okay, so I am actually originally from Mexico City.
Awesome. Wow.
I was born and raised over there, but I love Houston. I've been here for about 3-4 years now.
Nice.
I got licensed going on 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It was the best decision I made, even though I have an accounting degree. I hate accounting, so I love that I got into the insurance and particularly Medicare industry because it's just so fulfilling.
Yes, absolutely.
So I've been a broker. I've been a captive agent for another carrier, and now I am a regional manager here in Houston for Amerigroup, and I am loving it.
Isn't she adorable? That's what I'm saying. Whenever you have that energy, our seniors will pretty much be taken care of. So, Mariangel, tell us a little bit, like, for example, what is the role of an agent per se that, represent Amerigroup?
Okay. Yeah, I think Amerigroup, particularly nowadays, is a company that has to be a part of the agent's portfolio of products because I don't know if you know, Jorge, and I'm pretty sure you do because you're such an expert, but Amerigroup is actually the only company here in the Houston area that offers the healthy grocery benefit and the help for utilities for our seniors in a plan that does not require Medicaid.
Oh, wow. So you're saying pretty much that in a plan without Medicaid eligibility, members can get that little help for little allowance, a financial allowance for buying groceries. So
correct.
It is a standard for the Medicare plan.
Correct. So one of our HMO plans, which is called the Select Plus HMO, it does not require Medicaid. It only requires Medicare Parts A and Part B. And typically, when other companies offer these allowances for healthy groceries and utilities, the members have to have Medicaid as well as Medicare. Amerigroup is literally the only company that offers those benefits without having to require Medicaid.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that because that's actually one of the main benefits that these days members are getting, interested for. Like, for example, whenever a member says, hey, but why I don't get that little money to go buy groceries? My neighbor get that app. So mainly those benefits are available for the ones that are eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, like Mariangel said. So usually Medicaid in the senior community is based on your income. Like, for example, if your income is lower than certain amount, you're going to be entitled to QMB. If it's until other level, is SLMB, etc. Right? We're not going to talk about that Medicare, right? But like, for example, if you are only with traditional Medicare, and let's say, for example, you try to apply for Medicaid, and Medicaid was not approved because you were making that little bit much that requires the eligibility for, this could be a plan that might be interesting to you because imagine, we're not going to talk about the benefits itself, but imagine to have a little bit of money in your pocket that you go to the grocery store and you can actually use it. That's something that talks a lot. And imagine not to have the opportunity or being denied for Medicaid, is not just a deal breaker because now you have options and alternatives. That's what I'm saying. Whenever we do this show, whenever we do get in front of the members, in front of the seniors, what we're trying to do is we're trying to see what is that extra thing that you guys need. And whenever we sit down with a member, we're going to evaluate every single alternative benefit and doctor and facility that you go. But imagine imagine also to be able to get a little bit extra that Medicare don't cover, but these plans in our area provide for. What a wonderful thing. So now, Mariangel, but again, so, Amerigroup, again, is one of our stronger players in the market, like you said pretty much, and I always said, not everybody's needs are the same. So not every product will be the same for you, or not every product will be ideal for you. But like, for example, what other benefits that you will say it's more integrated and per se attractive? Now, that is right there a wonderful thing to think. Imagine, I don't qualify for Medicaid because I make a little bit too much money for the eligibility. But to have that in your pocket, that is wonderful.
Absolutely.
Now, what would you think it will be the perks? Like, for example, whenever we talk with a senior, the most important thing is doctors and medications. Mm-hmm. Can you, in general, say, for example, what is the network that Amerigroup provide in the Houston area?
Sure. Absolutely. So we do partner heavily with some of the major senior primary care clinics in the area, such as Centerwell. They're a great partner for us with 16 locations in the Houston area. There's Dedicated Senior Medical Center. We also have Oak Street Health, as well as Iora Primary Care. That's just 4 of the primary care clinics that we work with. But as far as our hospital network, we have all the main hospitals, Methodist, Memorial Hermann, UTMB, for example, in Galveston.
In Galveston County.
Absolutely. We have St. Luke's Hospital as well. So we do have a very large network. And like I said, working with some of these senior clinics that do a very complete and holistic care model for our members, it's actually fantastic.
Let me go over a little bit on that, okay? So, for example, nowadays, the senior population, it's been more catered and protected, call it whatever you want to call it, because of the pandemic, because of whatever services. Nowadays, these clinics have the senior care model available in place. What is a senior care model for the clinics? Like, for example, usually the typical role or environment before was you got to be sick in order to be going to the doctor. These clinics, pretty much, the goal they have is prevent their members or their seniors to go to the doctor. To go to the hospital. Their goal is to keep the members healthy and always making sure that they have that care and protection that they need. Like Mariangel says, pretty much one of the major partners that we also have, JWB Agents and Agency. We've been working in the past with Centerwell. We're working with Dedicated Senior. Dedicated Senior actually has been in our cabin as well. And we do understand that before the typical norm was, well, I have a Medicare plan. I kind of don't like my doctor, but you know what? I just don't want to mess with. I just want to stay, and I don't care. Let me tell you something. With the rules that Medicare have in place these days, that is in the past. That is history, because you guys have the power of your voice and the power of your decision to say, I want to go here and I want to get these benefits because I deserve it. You pay taxes to have Medicare. You pretty much work your time, or let's say the other folks that have Medicare, because of disability, they cannot work, and they don't have to be private of, access of services or benefits that because of their age. I had a situation where a member says, you know what, but I thought that Medicare was only for all people. It's like, no, you've been on disability for more than 2 years. Correct. If your doctor filed your documents or paperwork for disability and Social Security, if it's already 2 years or more, you do qualify Correct. For Medicare. Go and apply. 2 or 3 weeks later, they call me, oh my gosh, Jorge, thank you so much for letting me know. I didn't know I had this available. Now they're sending me my card in the mail. I want you to help me. People sometimes don't understand that there's benefits available, and just because of misinformation, they don't get the tools and the needs that they like. Now, Mariangel, you mentioned Galveston County. Specifically, Amerigroup, what is their area of services that you guys have?
So it varies a little bit plan to plan.
Okay.
Our dual plans, we are actually number 2 in the entire region in the dual market.
Okay.
So when I say dual, I mean, of course,
people
Medicare
with Medicare and Medicaid. Correct.
And so we are number 2 in the area. Our our dual service area is the largest. It has the most counties, from Brazoria to Galveston to Polk County, Angelina, of course, the three main ones, Harris, Montgomery, Fort Bend. We have a very large service area.
Gotcha. So for those that are around, the rural areas like Mariangel just mentioned, for example, Brazoria County, Angelina County, I'm surprised. I have clients in there. For those that don't know, Angelina County is pretty much 2.5 hours above Houston. So it's a little far. And one of the main things that you guys have to understand again is that, like Mariangel says, the network of doctor is a main player whenever you select a plan. Why? Because you don't want to disrupt, if you're diabetic or you have a heart condition, you don't want to disrupt those treatments because you now have to check that your specialist in the plan. Now, most of the time, whenever we face situations where members get disenrolled by mistake, or maybe the members got a phone call where it says, hey, but you have available this and you haven't used it, you want to do it, they disenroll them over the phone. Sometimes, okay, the frustration per se for us agencies that members get disrupted for benefits not to have the proper information or the right agent. We can help you pretty much navigate all of these rules. Imagine to have that money available. You don't have to have Medicaid, but if you do have Medicare and Medicaid, you're going to get a little bit more allowance in that money to go buy groceries. But imagine not having Medicaid, but you have a plan that is giving you a little bit of help in the grocery bill. Hey, why not to give them a look? Why not to try to see if your doctors are covered? Again, your circumstances, your situation might not be ideal, but hey, why not taking a look, take a peek and see, hey, that might be a plan for me. Now, one of the main things, Mariangel, like for example, you said for the duals, I know for a fact, and I want you to corroborate in the live video and also on later on whenever we will post it on our platforms. What is your dental allowance in this?
Sure. So believe it or not, and I always say, I don't say this because I work for Amerigroup, but our dental allowance is actually second to none. It's absolutely incredible. We are one of the only carriers, if not the only one, that covers implants.
Wow.
Which is a hot topic. And I know other people say they cover implants, but I have heard some horror stories about them covering like the screw or the crown that goes over the screw, but not the screw, or they cover the actual screw, but not whatever goes into the bone.
It's like called the anchors, the famous anchors.
Thank you. So we cover, our allowance is truly an allowance, a dental allowance. So if our members want to get an implant, we're going to cover every part of it. Okay. Of course, the amounts of the allowance are different. Just like you say, they vary between each plan. So that's why it's really important that our members and the people that are listening reach out to an expert like your agents and with JWB. Because just like you said, a lot of times, even with a primary care doctor, as you mentioned, somebody's been going to someone or having a plan for so long that sometimes it's the unknown that we are afraid of. It's not so much the fact that there's nothing better out there. It's the fact that the unknown can be scary.
Yes.
And so a lot of times when we actually go through the questions with members, like if we're talking about a doctor, for example.
Yeah.
How long does a doctor give you an appointment? How much time do you have to wait for the doctor? Can your doctor actually speak your language if it's a foreign language? Yep. And so when we ask all these questions, a lot of times members realize that they might not be getting the best that they deserve or the best that they could get. It's like before we had smartphones, I'm sure, like think of someone having a flip phone right now and they don't want to switch their phones because it's what they have and what they know, without realizing that there is better out there.
Absolutely.
So it's the same with Amerigroup, and particularly in the dental benefit, as we're talking about. Our benefit covers, like I said, from implants to teeth whitening, for example, which is a cosmetic procedure. We basically take care of the dental needs of the member, and our allowance and the preventive services that we typically get, like the dental cleaning and the x-ray and the oral exam, all of that does not come out of the allowance. So our members get more bang for their buck.
Absolutely. And one of the things, guys, that again, it is I don't know how to say it. Every time I get to this part, it gets the best of me, I guess, because it gets to it right now. I'm actually facing a situation. One of my current members got disenrolled over the phone just because I'm sorry to use the word, that irresponsible person, I'm not going to say a bad word, but that irresponsible person on the other side of the phone, not knowing their area, okay, provide a plan that their doctors are not in there. And this person, again, uses 3 major specialists, and sometimes they just, thinking they're getting something extra, cancels pretty much everything because of a quick phone call or 1-800 number. One of the main things I always say on prior episodes in my podcast is this: don't call that 1-800 number. Don't follow that commercial that you see, that old man that I don't know why he keeps showing in TV. Just please get in touch of an agent. Get in touch of somebody that you can actually reach out whenever you have a plan. Get in touch of somebody that can know if in the area that you live there is one of these clinics with their senior care model, like a Centerwell, like a Dedicated, like an Iora, like a Oak Street clinic. Those people will make sure that you are on the proper plan that will give you all of these benefits at no cost to you. And sometimes, believe it or not, guys, again, if you're listening to the podcast or you listen to the live video, just understand this. We don't charge for our services. We pretty much go to your house over the phone or a Zoom call, whatever the case might be. We're not going to ask you for a payment, or we're not going to ask you for money. And one of the main things that we always say is like this: Mr. and Mrs. Client, understand one thing. There's going to be 100 more people giving you a call. There's going to be another people trying to send you a pre-filled application that you don't even know what you need to. By the way, some of the times the techniques that these people use is they say, oh, we require your signature for this and that. Don't ever sign anything. Your plan will never send you blind documents to sign. Don't do that, please, because believe it or not, as of these days, there's still situations where members says, but I just sent something that they sent me in the mail to sign. They never gonna send you paperwork in the mail to sign. You always have your producer, your member services. You always have access to your agent. Again, if you have a question about a doctor, about a benefit, if you want to check out that Amerigroup allowance for groceries, not having Medicaid is a good plan for you, give us a call. Let's sit down. Let's go over your medications. Let's go over your doctors. Let's go over every single detail that matters, so that way your care is not in a way disrupted, and that way your plan will pretty much, the new plan that you choose will give up a little bit more. Remember, we are in the last days of the alternative to enroll in a different plan or review your benefits per se. After March 31st, we will not be able to do nothing unless that you have something called a special enrollment period. Becoming diabetic is one. Having a heart attack, God forbid it, never have a heart attack, but if you have a heart condition, that's one. If you gain Medicaid, that's one. If you get access to help for your medications, that's another one. If you move from the service area. Now, if you move from the service area, meaning you move from one county to a different county, not if you just move, you're going to have the alternative. Just keep in mind that you don't have to be stuck with your plan. Keep in mind that you have the alternatives, and great companies like Amerigroup, great benefits like Amerigroup provide, can give you that access that you don't have it now. And remember, having a local agent sometimes is the key of success, because if you have an issue, you have somebody to call. You don't have a 1-800 number to call somewhere in the world. You have a person that you can say, hey, I need help. Help me out with my medication. Help me out with my doctor because I'm paying and I'm not supposed to pay. All of those details, we can help you every day. And again, remember, we are here to help you. Marianne, the time is running low, but again, I want to say thank you. And I want to say it again, if for those people that are actually curious about Amerigroup benefits, give us a call. Marianne, anything that you want to say for before we end?
We just, I want to thank you so much once again for having me here. I want to thank everyone that's listening, and I want to encourage everybody to reach out to your agents, the JWB agents, just to maybe hear what else is out there.
Correct.
If a little bit of what we talked about might have interest somebody, I want them to know that just calling to ask questions and inquire does not mean that they are obligated to switch or obligated to enroll.
Correct.
They're just going to get their questions answered. And so I just want to encourage anybody that was interested in what we talked about today to call one of your agents and just ask about the different plans and the different benefits that Amerigroup has to offer, because I know that it'll be a nice surprise.
Absolutely. And that's actually the truth. So guys, if you have any questions, if you want to know if one of the Amerigroup plans is available in your area and why not getting access to these senior care model clinics, give us a call. Number is 281-743-8691. Myself, one of the guys can be able to help you. Remember, we're local, we speak your language, and we want to help you 100%. Thank you, Mariangel. Until next time. Thank you so very much.